Don't mind the mess. This is kind of my lab where all my finds and where I break stuff down. And literally just got so much stuff. But I wanted to go over just a few. That's my bird freaking out in the background. Anyway, I want to go over a few of the ones that are really old and unusual to find in Pennsylvania. Like I said, all of this except for this panel here. Everything else you see comes from one stream, a tributary of the Delaware in Pennsylvania. I'm not going to tell you the exact stream um, until until I deal with some of the red tape I'm going through. Um, anyway, this here is a Folsom Point that was found in part of the creek where the creek had been redirected in colonial times, probably to irrigate a nearby field or for a mill. But it left the original bank completely, or original bed of the creek completely dry and exposed. You could just walk through it. And the walls, because of the erosion and the bridge is right in the area, the walls of the bank there are 15, 20 feet high. So you get a very interesting area after rainstorms because parts of the bank wash out and you can actually get some stuff that is in context a bit. Well, my friend Dina in the same location, same day, found one that she has in her possession that's absolutely amazing. I've only seen another example like it found in Egypt, and it's thought to be around 10,000 years old. It's more harpoon-like than this one. This is classic Folsom. It's hard to see, but the fluting goes all the way up almost to the point there. And then you have all the flaking along the sides, sharpen it. The teeth for the tie-off, it chipped here. It would have come down and been symmetrical, and then it would have been shafted there and tied off on the bottom. What's really odd, I don't have a magnet in this room right now, but this is fully magnetic. It's some kind of heat-treated, highly, high level of ore, and the actual mica in this, it shows the age. That's actually silicate fossilization or calcification that's actually found its way into the cracks. This is not made of mica. It just has mica embedded in it. We do a test, a little snap test to see how strong it is. If you bend it a little bit and it breaks right in half, there's a good chance it probably wasn't a projectile point or weapon, because they're usually hardened, heat treated. They're made out of materials that are hard. This is a lightweight, hard material, and with a little bit of work, a little bit of sharpening, it'll be razor sharp again in no time. Just absolutely remarkable. It's got to be near 10,000 years old because of what I found in association with it. So this is the interesting thing. We find, well, it's a weird looking rock that I've never seen before. It's got a weird amount of weight to it, and it's got a crust and then it, almost meteoric. But then you look closely, very, very hard to capture on the video, but some high def photos I might be able to capture it magnified. But in person, you can literally see the actual marrow. It's fossilized. So it's a piece of bone. It's curved in part, but it's been hacked up and butchered. As another piece, you can really see that that's a bone there. That was cut of something. Same exact area, same place, same time frame. This is a tusk or bone of something that was fossilized. Don't think it's fossilized ivory, but I am not an expert on this. It's definitely some kind of tusk. You can actually see where the enamel of the tusk was chipped off and it fossilized all the way through. Completely became stone. But you see the symmetry of it as a tusk here that's been chopped or cut, or bone that's been cut and then fossilized. Another piece of bone. At first you're like, well, then you turn it around. Look at it. Literally a bone that was hacked out and wedged out. Not rock. I mean, it's rock now, but... And then the same day we found an incredible tool. I never thought I'd find a tool made of this material in this area. Look at the shine on this. This is an Obsidian Paleo knife, maybe even older. This is Obsidian. This is a material that the Neanderthals used to use with fracturing. Some of the sharpest edges in the world, 100 times sharper than razor blades in a lot of cases. You see the edges, and like this is a multi-tool, not multiple edges. It's got a finger grip. Just razor sharp on these edges still. And just the volcanic glass, there's a deposit of this, but way down. I mean, for this to have been exposed in this area and then have access with this to use as a material, it would mean that it was a long, long time ago. Just a beautiful, it's brownish obsidian tool. And we have a couple hand axes that are in my friend's possession that we found in the same place that day. Just awesome. And then this is extremely unique. This I need help with. So this is some kind of projectile point, and it's made out of some kind of organic material. You hear it? That's been heat treated, but it still has hide or fur on the surface because of how it was preserved. Now, at first I thought it was some kind of building material, but it smells organic still, and it almost feels like it's some kind of. I have other couple thinner pieces. A couple people said maybe they were, the toe supports for moccasins or bottom of an old shoe, but it's. I've never seen any material like this other than someone says, "What is that, asbestos?" But it's not asbestos. I don't know what it is. It's got a shine to it underneath of the actual fur. When you smell it, it has a smell of leather to it. I'm very interested. It was obviously perfectly shaped into some either a projectile point or, as some people mentioned, the bottom of a shoe, but that'd be for a very, very small foot. It's definitely not a material you would make a bottom of a shoe with. It's a hardened material, but leather, cloth, hide, arrowheads are some of the oldest arrowheads. If this is a material that came from an ancient animal, we're going to have to await testing and funding because I don't have money for all that testing. So it's just a crazy find that I thought I would mention. An arrowhead that's not stone. Hard to find those unless they're old metal ones, but it's hard to find the organic arrowheads preserved. Most of them rot away. I'm trying to see where the other one is. Here's the other one. Same shape, same material, although this is thinner. Some kind of hide. Something organic. And the fact that it's in perfect thicknesses, but of different random thicknesses, I don't think it's any kind of modern building material, especially in the context of where I found these organic arrowheads. But listen to this, see how thin it is? Listen to it though. You ready? Look how thin it is. Listen to it. So, but it's got fur on it. So we don't know what they are. If anyone has any idea, that one stumps me, other than them actually being an organic arrowhead of some sort, which would be absolutely astounding for me. But anyway, I just wanted to show you some of the really old stuff like this. A lot of the old stuff's in the case. That is a hammerhead with a face. And it is so well worked, this hammerhead right here. And it is made out of magnetite, which I don't even know how they worked that. It's a very hard material to work with. Um, there's an arrow or spearhead here that's red on one side, white on the other. If you flipped it over, still has the paint. It's a silver and limestone axe head. It's a pure native silver right there. Native silver with some quartz running through it, but that is what we call a Clovis. All right, and another Clovis right there with that weird toothed V-notch design. We have another couple forms of early Clovis. I call these proto-Susquehanna pieces because they're still triangular, but they have that curved notch, and then they're fluted, triangularly fluted in the middle there. Is another crazy Susquehanna piece, very triangular, but instead of fluting, they put a little swerve in there for the stem. Some people said, oh, these are bird arrows. Very possible. Bird arrow tips are shaped like that. They're blunt and weighted and triangular, but the Susquehannocks also, their killing points were very triangular as well. So I'm going to start putting everything back now because it's off to work for me. But just wanted to show you some of the old stuff. But to find a fossilized bone and tusk in the same area, we find the obsidian knife and this crazy Folsom point, along with the other point, which I can't even really classify. You know, like, we'll have to get a video of that one. I'll stop by my friend's house and shoot a video of it. I just have so much stuff. She has a lot of the collection in her possession just to, kind of space out the burden of containing and storing all the stuff. So, but yeah, let me get all this back where it has to be because these are my important little finds here. Keep them up in the case. But that's how you start, piecing together a story. These are also incredible because they're fluted as well, but that's a knife, another type of knife, some kind of triangular knife, almost looks like a razor but huge, and it looks like a folding knife but huge. And the material is granite, quartzite, jadeite, and magnetite, stuff that you need diamond tools to actually carve into shape because it's so hard to work with. Don't know who was making granite tools and fluting them. And you gotta imagine these things, these things polish like beautifully. These were left almost ornamentally. These were probably polished to a high shine, just gorgeous items. But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff, like people are into scrapers. This is that crazy little hide scraper. We find these things all the time. It's like a flint hide scraper right there, semi-transparent. I have some crystal clear ones too I found. There's just stuff, there's so much stuff back there. You got like a war kelp. Red, it's still got its, enamel on it. It's primitive enamel, most likely cinnabar. Red and white, red and white, and black, the colors of war, still holding its paint. We have another one that's still holding its paint right here. If you can see in the light, it's the pigment faded and almost pink now, but this side was red. That side was black, and black with this red line painted around it. This is another war. Look at all the angles and the edges here. You can still see the paint job from, 800 to 1,000 years ago. So just very neat. Another magnetite tool of some sort, some kind of head. I don't know what they were using the magnetite for, whether it was primitive compasses. Most of them are like effigy shaped or head shaped. Like this is probably some kind of bird or animal, but whatever it was, this material seems to have really been worshipped. its magnetic properties possibly. But there's just so much. But it's for a different time, I guess, a different place, for another day. Well, everyone stay safe, and I'm checking out. Have a blessed day.